Broke nigga try to holler for the spend that last dollar for the I need a nigga who can holler this. You say you weak, nigga swallow this. Now we say you in love for this, so we gon' put it up for this. Now we tryna put a frame on this. Nigga, I don't see no ring on this.
Because the next episode of Who That, we have the lovely Chase Fernander, the multi-talented singer, songwriter, rapper. She's in the rock band.
Ni hao. I just learned that.
So, Miss Chase, how did you get into music?
My dad was a rock drummer, so I was born into music. You know, ever since I was a kid, that was just something that I was surrounded by and interested in, and eventually just decided to make a life out of it.
And it's rare, like most people, you know, they're like me personally. I started music in reggae culture, Bob Marley. Some would say R&B, some would say rap, but rock. How is that?
Man, that is true because I a lot of people that I know do, you know, prefer or know a whole lot of other genres of music. But like I said, my dad was in a rock band, and that's his favorite kind of music, and so automatically I was just drawn into that a little bit more. But also just the whole aspect of live music and actual instruments that create the sounds that you hear is something that I really
So you was born in instrumentation?
Yeah, and I started to play keyboards. I played keyboards when I was 5. I played guitar when I was about 7, bass guitar, and I started to play the drums maybe when I was about 10. And I get bored really, really quickly, so I stopped those things. But one thing that I never got bored of was writing, and so I started writing music and eventually got into rapping.
So how long were you writing rap?
Probably since I was about 13.
Right, so just to keep track, she went from rock to writing to rapping. So what took you to singing?
Singing was always something that I wanted to do, and as a lover of rock music, you know, persons in that genre of music have really, really strong voices. And so it took me a long time to build the confidence and the skill actually to be able to sing certain songs that I perform now with my rock band. And I don't know, it's like the Mariah Careys of R&B and the Whitney Houstons and all those people. I also considered singers to be those kind of people.
Right.
You know, if you weren't a rock singer, you were that, you know, one of them. Right, and I was never able to do that, you know, when I was younger. But with time and practice and live performances, I, you know, started getting better at my craft, and singing just came to the forefront as opposed to rapping.
So I read something that you had online. Like, I don't misquote you. You said listen to rock for instrumentation, listen to rap for the words. And why do you listen to R&B? I think it was, you said the melody or.
Well, I listen to R&B. I listen to all different genres for different reasons. Like you said, rock for instrumentation because it's actual real, you know, music from scratch. Rap for like the creativity and delivery of words and lyrical content, and R&B just because emotion, I'd say more so. R&B I feel like is the genre where you would emote more, any kind of emotion, anger, happiness, sadness, love, or whatever. And so I can appreciate all of those things for different reasons. Jazz just has the elements of jazz is just completely different. The cadence of it, the timing of it, and everything. Like, so many different elements to different genres of music, so I can appreciate all of them for different reasons.
You said you started rapping at 13, and I also would like you to touch me because it's been a long journey between just what took you from rapping to coming back because you were in a hiatus.
Yeah. Well, rap I started off as because I always wanted to do music. And I always wanted to be a singer, but I wasn't confident in it. I had a friend whom I consider my brother, God rest his soul, because he passed away, but Julian Fizz Nichols, we went to high school together, and during our lunch breaks, I would go and watch him and his friends. They had freestyle battles in stairwell. And I was like, man, you know what, I could do this. And I started like writing little raps, and I told him one day, I'm like, you know what, I can do that. And I went and I watched the freestyle one day, and he pretty much threw me in the middle of everything.
In the thick of the fire.
Yeah.
Baptism by fire.
Right, and so I had to rap for the first time in front of all kind of people, and that was the beginning of a beautiful career in rap music, and it just came so naturally, and I was always more confident doing it because you don't really have to put as much emphasis in rapping as you do as a singer and making certain things sound pretty and whatnot. So I just got into rapping more than anything. And
this was in Freeport, by the way, right?
This was in Freeport. I started off, yeah. And with singing, after a while, I moved to Nassau, and I still did my rap a little bit, but I was more intrigued by the live music. And I have an uncle, Dr. Tyrone Bartlett. Some people know him as Platty. I was in the band with him, Platty and the Naked Eye, for about 3 years. And being a part of that band really, really opened up my mind to singing, and it made me want to explore it a little bit more and practice it a bit more. And now here I am as a singer. A lot of people don't even know that I rap.
Because I've always heard of you, the Chase Fernander, as a singer, and I heard you perform Pussy at Remedy Bar. It's like
that's right.
That's a hard song.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, and I decided to rap now with this new project because one, I've been in the industry for a long time, but I have nothing that is something of mine that represents me to the fullest. And you have persons that know me for rapping, and you have people that know me for singing.
You're going to try to bridge that gap.
Right, exactly. I want the people that know me for rapping to see what they're missing, and vice versa for the persons that know me for singing.
But I read that also that your music has brought you in contact with some people. I see one game, Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, there's a convention called the Mix Show Power Summit that I'm not certain if they still have it, but in 2005 they decided to host it in Grand Bahama, and I, along with a lot of other artists, that was where I first met Offshore actually there, and we got the opportunity to perform as opening acts for each concert night. There were 3 concert nights. I got the first night, and I was kind of bummed about that because I'm like, there's 3 nights, all the big artists are going to probably come out on the last night.
Right.
Jay-Z was there,
Wow.
Busta Rhymes was there, Kanye West, Peter Guns, Joel Santana, Tierra Marie, like everybody was there. So that was a really, really, really good opportunity, and that was actually my first major performance at all, but primarily as a rapper.
Have you had any major? Because it's been 2005, it's been almost 9 years. Mm-hmm. Where have you performed since?
I've performed in Atlanta. I've performed in San Antonio. I will be performing in Canada next month. Yeah, Caravana, very exciting. Everywhere I go, when I travel, even if it's not business related, I find some place to go and perform anyway. So everywhere that I've traveled, I've been to the Caymans, St. Lucia, Peru, lots of different places, New York, and I find some place that I can still do my music. Right. And actually, hopefully, if everything works out well, we're trying to plan an indie tour from Florida to New York in November, where we'll just stop at different cities and hot spots where people would usually go to sing or perform, and just put on a little show.
And by the time your tape would be out, so you could just
right,
shut that off.
Exactly, get some networking going on. Yeah.
Before I hit your tape, I just want the world to know, but just beautiful that you have. Even though you travel around the world, you keep home close.
I have to keep home very close because as an artist and in the industry, sometimes we're not allowed to be at home as much as we would like. And a lot of people would think, they want to get out of the Bahamas and see this place and that place, and a lot of people just want to leave. But I've had the opportunity to travel a lot, and it's great while it lasts, but there's no place like home.
Oh, exactly.
There's no place like home. So I just keep it here as a constant reminder of where I'm from, and I show off when I travel. They're like, what is that? I'm like, that's my country, So, yeah, it's my favorite one, and a lot of people kind of dig it.
I love it.
Thank you.
So we have Necessary coming soon. The first single, Pussy, as you will all hear and begin to
Yes. Pussy / cookie. For all you reserved folks.
I'm sorry we'll be able to song for you now, but trust me, it's coming real soon.
It's very, very soon. So stay tuned.
So Necessary.
Necessary. #necessary. #pussy cookie. You guys, it's a hot song. It's a banger. I'm super, super excited for it to be released, and I just can't wait for everyone else to hear it.
And like you said, you don't have a body of work that represents who you are as a person. So you feel so far, like you tell us you have 3 more songs left.
Yes,
Necessary.
I still have 3 more songs.
But so far, you feel as if this represents who you are,
Yes.
Chase Fernander.
Yes, I have a song that represents every aspect of me. I have, Pussy's about how I feel about, some guys sometimes and how they try to approach women. Dear John is, is just pretty much telling people that I don't take shit and I'm not into bullshit. I'm here for what I'm here for.
Right.
Appreciate that and respect that, or get out of here. You know what I mean? I've got Stoned in Love, which is the remix to Drunk in Love, which is just about...
And you can't rap, but you don't live.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, I don't drink like that. I'm not a drinker. I'm a smoker.
I'm stoned.
Exactly. I put it in there all day. Sorry. Sorry, mom stuff. Don't lock me up. but yeah, so that's something. I also have a song that's, I wouldn't say it's a love song, but it is more geared towards the personal love side of my life. So yeah, it's a little bit of me everywhere in the song.
I know you're in 2 bands, one being a rock band, one being a top 40 band, and you're working on your own band.
Yes, I'm working on my own band. Right now we're just looking for a bass player. So if there are any interested parties out there that would be, that would want to be involved in this, then hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything at Chase Fernander, and let us know. But this band is going to be more of like a hip-hop R&B band. So
Slash jazz.
Slash hip-hop R&B slash jazz. Yes. And it's gonna be something different. The closest thing that I've seen to it is Nomadics, but we're gonna add a few other elements to it that people haven't really seen or heard as yet, so I'm excited about that. So it's just that once we find a bass player, then we can get going. But I also need the band primarily for the listening party that we're going to be doing
in
August, because all the songs that are on the mixtape are going to actually be performing live with the band.
Right.
Yeah, I just like the energy of a live
instrumentation.
Right, yeah.
So how does it feel? Because between, you said the second band is a top 40 band versus a rock. How do you approach each differently?
The rock band is more of my comfort zone, and so like going into that, I just feel like a rock star. And anytime I step on that stage, I'm there with my shades and my boots, and just the energy is really, really, really good. The difference is in the top 40 band. There's another singer as well, another lead singer. Her name is Navandria Lyric Rose. Shout out to Drea, this is my homie. But she sings with me in that band, and so it's nice to be able to share the stage with somebody, and feed off of other person's energy. And also, this band is bigger than Subculture, and so
bigger as in people or
more
popularity.
More persons, more musicians in it and singers, and so the energy is different. It's still good, but it's different, and especially in terms of the music, because we do more covers of pop, R&B, oldies, disco, and as a lover of all genres of music, I like having the option of either rock or every other genre.
Right.
And now with the new band that I'm creating, I'll have the option of having my R&B and hip hop songs as well.
And I think you'll do great in your own band because you have practice and experience with 2 different. So now you get to go rock. You had the top 40s, now you get to come home.
Exactly. And I get to just take it by the handles, and I just stare this by myself, and that's something that I've always wanted to do in a band. Not that I don't mind the way my position in the other bands, but there's so many other ideas that I have that I've just
need to get out.
Yeah, I just really like to be able to put that energy into one particular unit. That's all mine.
Right?
Yeah.
We can't wait to hear Necessary. And Pussy will be coming through on their John.
Yes,
And
oh,
this-
yes, dear John.
And if you want to find Chases anywhere, just Chase Fernander. We will attach our SoundCloud to YouTube, and the song isn't there yet, but just so time you blink, it'll be there. And yet again, this is Who Dat, and we'd like to thank the lovely Chase for being there.
And thank you for having me.
Broke nigga try to holler for the spend that last dollar for the I need a nigga who can holler this. You say you weak, nigga, swallow this. Now we say you in love.